given you have special sits mainly, how do you think about conviction in special sits, in what you do? And I mean, if you've got an example, I know we spoke about Burford earlier, and a very specific case.
Yeah, because it's not a commitment in the company itself or in the management. That's where I think our approaches are a little bit different. It's conviction in the actual idea of whatever is occurring. So we talked about Burford before, kind of coming up on stage here, and this is a litigation finance company that recently won a big award. But it's still probably significantly mispriced from here. But there is some time period where they may or may not be able to collect from the government of Argentina. So, for something like that, it's like, okay, do you trust? Do I need to trust, for example, the business strategy? Well, maybe, maybe not. In this case, no, because the reason I'm in it is because of that the award, and when they can get it, what they might negotiate, et cetera, et cetera. So there is some trust in management you need there, but what you really need to trust, and I kind of got in after the award was filed, but if you got in before, you have to trust your legal judgment, you have to trust kind of some of the information there and the timing. So it's much more kind of situational based, and some of the things I'll get involved in, might be divestitures or spin-off or some sort of activist investor that gets involved with the company, where you're really trusting something different than the company itself. And I think a lot of that comes from pattern recognition, and you're definitely going to make mistakes like you will in anything else. So you have to size it appropriately, but for the company that just filed the 8-K, for example, that said it was going to put itself up for sale. A lot of companies might say that, or they're going through that sale process. It doesn't happen, but there's some specific things involved in that reminded me of previous.
Do you speak to management in that case, though, or is that mainly your own judgment?
No, I don't think that's going to be useful in that case. But some of the things that made it interesting and some pattern recognition from previous instances was, they had a business that had a few different lines of businesses. They weren't necessarily related. They sold off one business. They were winding down a second business, and then the third business was where the value is, right? So now they're putting that up for sale, which is ultimately the entire company. And that's a much different situation than a company that just says, hey, look, we're having some financial difficulties or something like that, and we're running a sales process.